Hello, Katja here, and welcome to this inspirational video where I will create a art journal challenge. You have noticed that I will do in one of my journals with burlap pages. And I start with the stencil 111 from ab.studios. I'm using embossing like a stick from Stampendous. Because I want to add some paint, and you can notice that my embossing pad there on it's a little bit dirty, but I don't mind. I'm thinking it can give some interest to the background, because this will be the background, and I will use white embossing powder. I have some watercolors. I have classic watercolors from Prima, and I want to add some white, gray and light blue to the background, and I have too much color for me. I want to only have a dark, fine background. I also have some metallic paint, and it's very much pigment in this paint. It's Tsienko or something like that, the fabric, and it's really give a nice metallic effect. And I'm mixing the blue, white and gray, and really I don't have no pattern or color how I will get it. I want to let the colors flow and it will go randomly. So I'm spraying some water on my watercolor paper, and I'm using some watercolor paper from Prima Marketing. And this is one way, because the embossing powder in white, it gives a resist technique, and I have a fine textured background, and I don't want the background to be too busy. Here I have some gorgeous flower stamp 487 from AB Studio, and it's really nice, and I will emboss this flower also, so I'm stamping it. This time I have a stamping pad, and you notice this is also dirty. That's life when you're doing mixed media and you create often. Things tends to be dirty, but in some way it works fine. And I'm stamping randomly on this paper, and when I stamp I get idea to a card, but not this time. And again I'm using some white embossing powder. I really like the white against some color. It gets more soft and tender than to use the black. So I'm embossing it. When it's dry, my embossing, I want to color these flowers. And I'm using my watercolors again. A lot of water, because I don't want to work with the details. I really like when it goes randomly. A lot of water. I'm also adding a little bit yellow, and you see when I have too much pigment, I have it on the paper in my background first, and I'm playing around to get some randomly effect for my flowers. And in this process it doesn't look nice, but that's the way you are. In the process it can be not always most gorgeous effect. So I'm doing here because I want the paint to color before I'm adding too much. So you will see it doesn't look nice at all, but I'm working it and adding some water. So be sure, if you like this video, to give the thumbs up. I really appreciate if you do that, and please write a comment so I can if you are wondering of something, and I really appreciate. I read all the comments. I don't have the time to answer you all, but I get really happy for all the comments. Yeah, now I'm thinking that I'm really happy, and it's time to fussy cut the flowers. So I'm fussy cutting the flowers, and now it's the time. Now it's I also have some Tandy art paper from ab.studio, just the way you are. And I'm stamping some interest in the background, some numbers and text. And here I have a text. It's a stamp 79. And I'm stamping, and that will be my framing around the paper. And a little bit where I will have things glued. And this is a very easy art journal page. I also have one more stamp, 79, and I'm stamping a little bit where my I will add these elements. So I have done extra stamping around where I will glue my gorgeous girls. Okay, you see me now. I'm adding the page, and I think that's a great idea to not work directly in your journal, because if you're unhappy, you don't need to add it to your journal. If you're happy with your background page or something, you can also always change your mind then. These Tandy art girls are just gorgeous, and they are in soft and yellow and grayish color, and that's why I want to keep my page really in the same color scheme. So you see me now adding the fussy cut flowers. I also have made some fussy cutting from other paper where I have some leaves, and I try to make like a frame on my paper, and also on the inside. And I have used the cutouts from Secret Wood paper, sheet number 6. It's some leaves and also this like a tower, castle tower. And you see me, I have these leaves and berries to make a little bit more contrast color. And you see me working on the both pages. And I think it's a gorgeous way to use the burlap, like extra frame, but also that you can keep it and open it. So I'm adding my fussy cutted flower and leaves and gluing them in a composition like to give a frame to the whole page. Now I have a stencil. It's a very nice fine stencil. It's number 14 from AB Studio, and I want to add it because I want to add some more white, and it gives a really like a little bit snowy effect, and that's just how I want it, like all over page. And also to give it like a shimmer, I almost like add it like it's snowflakes, wintry. I don't think my page end up so wintry, even if that was my first thought. Now I want to add some white gesso because I think my frame with the burlap, it was too much contrast. I do it also on the inside, on the back side, and I will leave it like that for now, because I think the one side was the most important. And here I have a quote: "Don't allow your life to be unknown." That will be my quote and sentiment for this art journal page. And the stamp also comes from ab.studio. And I'm inking it a little bit, and I want to find the right place for my sentiment. So I'm gluing it, and my sides start to be happy. Now I need to add some shade, little bit shadow effect around my cutouts, and I'm using only watercolor with a watercolor pen, a little bit brown, to give like a shadow effect to my cutouts. Not too much, but only to give like a brownish vintage effect. And I think that also matches the burlap on the perfect way. Yeah, I'm starting to getting happy. Now I will use the stencil 160, and I'm thinking that was like a more bigger snowflakes, but I didn't do it like I was thinking. I'm adding them like in groups near my embellishment, near my details. And yeah, leave it to drying, and I think I'm happy with that now. And I'm using a little bit 3D gloss gel because I think it was too sharp edges contrast, and adding some micro beads in gold for to give the effect and to leave the art journal page to go on some way. I think always it gives some extra effect to add some metallics. Yeah, and that's thank you for watching, and thank you from me, and have a gorgeous time, all of the viewers. I love you all. Thank you, and bye bye. See you soon again in the next tutorial. Bye bye.